Are you ready?
No.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Oh, wait.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Why'd you do that?
What did I do?
What the fuck, dude? Not cool. November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature.
You got it.
Defendants in the chamber 5.
No, I'm not going to do the anime voice. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? Who wants to whack my pee-pee? Alright.
What? Oh! No, nothing. Save your glares, murderer!
Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, awaiting my trial.
That's enough!
He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer.
And who are you?
I'm this man's warrior. I'll be defending him today.
Lawyer?
Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case. No one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So, you will hold your tongue.
Tisk, technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet.
And yet, I still seem to know better than you know how a court officer should behave.
I'd just
Me
like to
and
point
my
out that all the
ongoing
judges in the
wind.
background have beards.
Right, Ryunosuke?
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry.
What are you apologizing to me for?
Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. My honest reaction. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry.
There you go again, apologizing. Just like always.
Ah,
Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. Obviously. You didn't actually do it, did you?
of course not. You have to believe me, I didn't do it. I could never murder someone.
Then there's nothing to worry about. Strain yourself up, hold your head high, feel the wind breeze through your band.
You mean...
I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer, impressive considering he's still an undergraduate.
It's not that impressive. The very concept of warriors is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly. Oh.
One sec. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last.
I know! I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, these government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court.
So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple.
I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes.
The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too.
Then come with me. We have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together.
If only it were that simple.
Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going.
Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer.
Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. Surely nothing will go wrong. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
The accent wasn't your fault, and he dissipates.
Phases out of existence.
It was straight after that. That's when it happened.
Asogi, may I have a word?
You don't know how
Barack
perfect that
Obama.
is. Professor, didn't know you were coming.
I'm always coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi, you should go immediately to the judge's chambers.
To His Excellency's chambers? Why?
He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in his trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result.
Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before.
I see. I'll go once then.
I shall accompany you.
Alright then, Rinosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom.
Yes, thanks, Kazuma. My honest reaction.
My honest reaction.
My honest
still
reaction. Oh, this is awkward.
If I may,
Yes, sorry?
you must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensics medicine at Yume University.
Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad.
Asogi told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand.
My honest reaction.
As such, I feel you should know.
Know what?
Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again.
Huh?
As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you.
My honest reaction. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing?
The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances.
I don't believe it. My honest reaction. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer.
I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial.
Sorry? What do you mean?
You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway.
But then what should I do?
Well, die. Naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction.
Right, so...
As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do.
I do? But what will the question be? Surely not... Do you accept the accusations brought before you?
Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway.
This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over, and what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that I like to imagine he's old now when he's saying this. I embarked on that unforgettable trial. He's telling this story. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny.
Like the game. November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Courtroom 2.
So this is a courtroom.
The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power.
I don't much like the look at those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there.
The powers that have been demanded that this be a secret trial.
A secret trial?
A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend.
What? But why?
It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Rinosuke. It's about to begin. Where did he come from? The court will now hear the trial of Rinosuke Naruhodo.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defense advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to a trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial?
This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... My honest reaction... I need to answer quickly. What should I do?
Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who... Dog? What is the meaning of this unruly outburst?
I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself.
You'll be... What? Where are you playing at, Rinosuke?
Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now before the trial. Hi, Smickle.
Hi.
We have a smorgasbord of characters that we've already been introduced to.
Smickle, I will gladly give you cool guy bandana.
Yeah,
Who's speaking right now?
yeah,
No.
or one though, but he is now.
He did what?
He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose.
My honest reaction.
A thumbs up. We've already been doing it the whole time.
How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off?
What?
You doubt my superior abilities.
No, it's not that really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you...
My honest reaction. Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Oh my god, this judge!
Well,
He's majestic, I'm not gonna lie.
Bro has a beautiful aura around him.
the court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well. Does the accused admit to defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank.
I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court. You must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo?
Yes, Your Excellency.
It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken.
My competence? What does that mean?
He's questioning your ability to do the job.
Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am.
So,
Questioning other
let's
things.
start with the very simplest of questions.
Oh, yes.
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous, I can't even remember that. What was it again?
Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank.
What the scallop?
All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record.
He's giving a real retweet of your stupid look right now. but I can't even find that.
It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of E.
E.
If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there.
I just have to press E for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose.
Ryunosuke, have you noticed the wind flowing through this building? You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press to go back.
Oh wow, his name really is John.
John Victim.
John Victim.
John Victim. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the People section of the court record and press R to present. Try it now.
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Tish. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago.
Yes. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations.
There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And besties.
Sorry, 1 second, I'm munching.
You're good.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has spilt on our soil. You are both undergraduate at Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from an institution that provides you education, have you no honor?
Ugh, but I didn't do it.
This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter.
In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime.
So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it?
Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman.
Because the victim was what?
Kind of. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman.
I'm glad you could remember that fact.
But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime.
Oh dear. Look at the time. I'd better be going.
Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer.
My place, 7 p.m.? Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then. Partner.
Wow.
Dissipates.
Fade out of existence.
The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think... My honest reaction? Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson.
Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
How did this professor in medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life?
He left it at home.
State before the court the case of death.
Cause of death? Well, obviously that was,
Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence.
by evidence? But how?
Are you fucking for real? Find a piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now.
Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report.
In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in a otusai. Foreign word, not sure. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. It's less reliable,
Oh.
the way we like it.
I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
How did you get this far?
This so-called photographic print of the scene. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern the scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
I think he's just chilling, personally.
Thank you,
Yeah.
counsel. The court
man is just-
accepts the fact that this took over 12 minutes and put this modern scientific evidence into the record.
The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record.
Wait a minute.
Yatta.
I know that voice from Metal Gear Solid 5. You're in the wrong timeline.
So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before.
How?
It's
Sorry.
clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible.
I Oh, I'm gonna get mad all over again, dude.
You thought that Phoenix was a dumbass, bro. You don't even know.
I ain't seen nothing yet.
The court will ignore the worries over the defense. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
What do you mean start? What the fuck have we been doing?
T-pose. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Ugh, this is it then.
I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind.
The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba?
Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant.
Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial.
He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Whatever that means.
Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma.
Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats.
Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first.
You like these stairs, and you love this headband.
Oh, we have the MF of all time.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Alright, who wants Hosonaga?
My vote's on Smickle.
Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival.
Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some,
My bad. It's a regular occurrence. Really doesn't bother me.
Should really see a doctor about that, buddy.
Well, it really, really should.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for the foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants on Occidental Eatery 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident.
At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring?
It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied.
That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place.
It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery, sorry, I don't know how to read. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yo, Mattman, thank you for the follow. We're gonna continue along, but thank you.
Damn.
Hold on! Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
Damn.
But
The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized. Defendant Naruhodo.
Don't worry, Inosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, you must just quietly listen to the witness.
ugh,
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with gun in hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student.
huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around the table?
What's the matter, Inosuke?
That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table.
Really?
And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned
Matthew
about
Mercer would have voiced that guy.
I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Fuck it, bro.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw.
Otsunaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone.
I don't believe it.
I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to.
Let me see. Ah! A sketch of the establishment's layout, drawn by yourself, I presume.
I was never the artist, but that's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. I don't really know how this card indicates that when there's only a single mark on it, but I'm sure you understand.
Well, you're clearly a very waiter.
Conscientious.
You're certainly a waiter.
Thank you, sir. That is, in fact, my profession.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Boy, oh boy. Oh, well,
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
it's my last business card. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now.
Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's
Are
business
you
card is
okay?
entered into the court record.
My lungs! Fuck!
So, T-Pose, the court has now heard a precis of the case.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here.
Be strong, Smickle. Be strong.
Be strong, Smickle. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue the matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
My honest reaction. What do you think I should do,
What do you-
Kazuma?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence?
If you were a bitch.
Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so is the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this.
My honest reaction. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust in back in my face? Is that it?
What?
If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary.
That's why I have the sword.
Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Karate chop! The defense plead not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. And if I hear more shit, there's more than a karate chop coming, then we'll see how decisive this evidence really is. Damn, he's got no ass. Sorry.
Indeed. Prosecutor Achi, please continue with the proceedings.
Tisk, well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
I can be your devil or your angel.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever.
Bink.
The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once.
Oh, we got some characters.
No. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
I can take this guy. Yes, sir! The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant E.A. Sanosa, reported for duty, sir!
Oh, man.
Who wants Korikuta?
Let me stretch the
Myself, I
there
find
you go.
employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from effortlessness of the nation Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premise in the 2nd district of the Kyoriori Korakuta, at your service.
This man is one gentle breeze away from exploding.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in questions, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with the interested parties regarding the curios, which I make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying.
Rose proffering. He's an antique dealer. It sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. I'm really curious how you made it this far in your schooling if you just can't understand sentences.
Oh my
He
god.
obviously targets La Carnival because it's high-class restaurants with a rich clientele. Like, are you for real?
The doggos raid a high Tara doggos. Right, I see. Although to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
What do you mean by that, Ryunosuke?
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of the most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war. Sir! It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir!
This character's so fun!
This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said.
So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead.
Yes.
Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable?
I cannot take this MF seriously.
Oh my god.
If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
That means it's working.
Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred.
Sir, yes, sir! Standing by, ready to report, sir!
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon.
I love when you pause at the little line. Bro goes, "Oh."
What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of particularly fine golden curio to the military gentlemen.
Pogging at the item, dude. I can't not see it now.
He goes, wait, where is it? Where is it?
Oh.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio.
Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the final moment. You
Yes,
saw
yes.
the split second when the defendant fired a weapon at the victim.
Bro's pleasantly surprised.
Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! That wicked university cadet, sir! The cruel and unforgivable enemy!
What the fuck?
Old times we live in, when English gentlemen may be assailed in broad daylight.
But this is ridiculous! I didn't shoot anyone!
Is that really true, Ryunosuke?
Why are you questioning me? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor.
Why the fuck would you do that?
After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang!
Bong.
Bang.
Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. My detective reasoning is insane. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was.
There is?
Dude, are you for real? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witness.
Cross-examine?
Are you kidding me? Do it now!
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It's time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly. The testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the Who? What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst?
I am, what the scallop? I mean the defense
Put your damn hand down!
demands its right to a cross-examination.
Literally, how did you get this far?
Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hakamaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
You
Huh?
have something to say to me?
What did he know?
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
Your mother. The defense is asserting its Phoenix right to a cross-examination.
No,
Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant.
Oh my god. Kazuma is so commanding.
The wind is coming from my willpower.
very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses.
Also, this music goes crazy.
Dude, I've been thinking it this entire time too.
Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke.
But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination.
I don't fucking know how you got this far, dude. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies and the witnesses' statements.
You have to expose the
How?
lies and the fake news.
I'm gonna kill you.
And
You
become a
didn't
true-
fire the gun, which means what the soldier said has to be a lie.
Well, yes, but
It's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence.
right. Evidence.
But all you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves that the witness is lying. Now, let's go, Ryunosuke! Don't let them beat you! Wait,
Only Kazuma can beat you.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten to law school yet. All right then. It's all or nothing.
I knew you love that.
All right, let's figure this out.
weakest slap of all time!
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
So you're saying that you actually saw me at that time? Affirmative! I saw you! Laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian.
Dude, this slap is so fucking funny.
But that's impossible. I only...
Allow me to confirm just one point, please.
What's that, Private?
Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table.
And so what if it was?
Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun.
My honest reaction. A double R. My sixth sense. Sorry?
What?
My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from their foul mind.
Dude, he
Which
senses
means-
killing intent.
A split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet. Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you think I'd have got where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son?
Well, dude, I can't handle all the riz in his eyes when he looks over. You were getting laid after this court case.
I'm so happy these characters aren't teenagers, bro.
These are college students.
It would seem the soldier's absolutely about to get our asses fucked.
This is not good. What do we... Alright. We need to press this one.
Yes.
So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was... I've just had about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, There's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you, you little weasel! You unloaded the firearm of that man! From behind his back! And you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon? You disgust me! My honest reaction...
He said, wait a minute. What is it, Ryunosuke?
I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind.
You? In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back.
What do we have here? Oh, shot from the
The
front.
photograph.
Lol.
And if you get him, I'll stab him right now. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. Yeah, fond memories.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here.
Listen, Ryunosuke. We know there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them.
I understand that. The question is how?
Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while a witness is giving testimony by pressing "yeah." Go through each witness statement and the details about each piece of evidence and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency.
Inconsistency. What the fuck does that mean?
Ryunosuke, when I get you, Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke, when I get you, Ryunosuke. When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seem to contradict each other. Do you know what that word means? Present your evidence with R and rip the witness apart. Just like you did the victim. Just be careful. Because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. If you're dealt too many penalties, the defense's case will fall apart and you'll receive a guilty verdict. So that's it. Peruse the evidence in the court record and find an inconsistency with the witness's statement.
Alright, I'll give it a try.
You can hear the witness's statement over and over again as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner.
Alright, alright.
Yes!
My honest reaction.
What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here.
So fucking good.
Wet cloth. Tisk, what nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth.
Sorry, I'm lagging. Hold on 1 second.
I think it proves beyond a doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom.
Ah, this is so frustrating.
Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spill it out would be an insult to the court.
Kazuma, what?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
Oh, what?
Sergeant Iesanosa.
Is her? What's her?
The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
Yeah, that tracks.
But no, that just can't be. Why not, cadet? Because...
Take a close look at this print. Look at this photograph! The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. A back shot, if you will. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it?
What the hell was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again.
Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa?
Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharged, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir.
What?
The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Yesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
Ah, that's absurd.
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. See what I did there, Ryunosuke?
Kyang! Hi, Gamby.
There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. Roll the credits. But
You haven't even seen the ace part of being an attorney.
I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, who pointed the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor.
And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
My honest reaction, myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor, taking back shots from my commander.
Too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure. Back shots.
Treasure. I think I know of this kind. God damn!
Indeed. The Hori Kaban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habit to place it on my bosom pocket. A particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute.
In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you?
On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoi treasure to. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished.
Nikoban vanished?
Hunting around under the table, I was in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoi treasure.
Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest. Did you find the coin in the end?
My honest reaction, no.
I see.
That lamentable day, the precious Hoi coin was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. My honest reaction.
As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon.
Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now.
What is your position, Prosecutor Archie?
Tish, tish, haha. Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will not find a wolf at the back. But he will find a wolf at the back.
Why are you bringing animals into the court?
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it would become abundantly clear that there was only one person who could have possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What?
Really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he?
Oh,
Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegations. Is that clear?
As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency. Oh my god, Kiriko.
Gambi, do you want to take this character?
Sure. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir.
Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think.
Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Ado.
Man.
Where?
It seems those straps are a sign of the surgeon being too strapped to afford a nanny.
Doop. Ado. Attention! Your father is about to quell the enemy. Want to learn, my boy?
This man is a Dragon Quest character.
The true culprit.
Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's also the same thing. Almost.
Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was that young lad in black. That much I myself did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Sounds like a storybook. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out.
Man.
Sir, Your Honor, I don't like the way you said black.
Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all.
Please, enough of these outbursts already.
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
I pretend I do not see it.
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies.
I too fantasize about women at my table.
It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the table at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographed evidence of this fact.
Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel?
Would you look at that? Another piece of evidence that should have been brought to the attention of the defense at the beginning of the fucking case. But alas, here we are.
Indeed,
I love
the
the
victim was
Phoenix Wright
died
ecosystem.
taken by an investigator immediately after the incident.
Whoa.
As can plainly see, there is only one place set.
Bro, he was eating at the Chili's.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print. Oh, sorry, my fault. Wrong person.
It will be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else.
Arg. This doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record.
The photographic print of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
Can you peep the photo real quick?
Yeah, I'll beep it.
Carbonated water. Ugh.
Okay, I thought there were two glasses at the table.
Film grain.
No, one is a Voss.
Who gets a steak with a butternut?
True.
I do.
Me.
I do.
I don't want to hurt it.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up.
I don't understand. What's going on here?
How did he cut that steak?
It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman.
The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well.
But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him.
And is that woman with us now?
My honest reaction.
It will seem they'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
Those are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takatsuchi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor.
I'm going through it. How
Dingy
can this be
chair.
happening? The judge is ready to rule.
Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. That's just a guess. Yeah,
I figured.
figures.
Yeah. What?
If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes.
Plot twist, it was Larry Butts that came in.
And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination.
It
Traveling
was
through
Slurgo
time
all along.
suddenly.
I don't know, Kazuma.
Kazuma Mishima.
The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick.
Like your
Understood?
wife does.
Like my wife does.
This rules can be so unbending at times.
Ugh. All right. I don't
Even of what I saw.
need to press that. I don't need to press that.
Furthermore,
Yeah, let's. Yeah. Grab that one. You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
As you have been at pains to point out time and time again, I feel I'm growing callous in my ear.
Ouch.
Sounds
And
painful.
yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman.
Ugh. If only there'd been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her.
Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant.
I know.
Dinner.
Of course, the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect.
Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat.
Shut the fuck up, Judge.
Shut up.
I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason.
There was?
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
What is that, Counsel?
It's a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
Taking a shot for every piece of evidence that should have been here from the start.
You'll die.
The clinic. Yes, there would appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th of November, noon past 1 p.m.
The very day of the incident.
So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case.
I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke?
Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really.
Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful.
Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not?
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds?
The one that we stand on.
The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to the arrival at this restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
And beg. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence.
Very well. The court will grant the defense's requests.
Thanks, Home Slice.
Tisk.
Thanks, fam.
Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most
Average boomer.
disturbing trend.
Why is he? Why?
Why is he racist?
He really slipped that one in there.
Officer, kindly add to the victim's medical report card to the court record.
The
Your
victim's
Honor, I wanna
medical
add
report card has been
prosecutor's
entered.
racism to the court record.
What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem irrelevant at first.
Right, I hear you.
Are you getting tired during court? We'll never win this way.
It's hard to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate the accused Korakuta-san.
Let's press it.
Yes!
Why not? Dude. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone.
That I did. Forgive me for the disposition I place you in. So the testimony of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the uncontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. A meal for
Why does it look like he didn't cut it? He just took a bite out of that steak.
Me, though. Me, by the way. No.
My honest reaction. The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why?
I'm perfectly
on. Oh, no.
If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea.
I love that there's just constant wind flowing in his direction only.
It's the power of my will.
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth?
Damn.
Real straightforward there. What are you saying, Cadet?
I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor.
He was really hot.
Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible.
Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of those two witnesses alone.
It's
Sorry?
3.
The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone.
That's right.
Precisely. In other words,
Fuck you.
you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady.
Persona.
If such a thought were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof.
Oh no, he's racist and a misogynist.
If no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom thought be made.
Oh my god.
That's so aggressive.
It is blatant waste of the court's time.
There's nothing I can say to that.
Tish tish, ha 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 ha.
Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now.
Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light.
I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card he got.
Oh, you mean this?
Yes. This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail.
How exactly?
By fucking
Look
reading
at
it.
You
This
notice
is a
that some
tutorial.
pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine.
Okay, I can't.
I haven't taught you yet, so you can't do it.
Now that I've told you to press the space bar,
Press space and you can take a closer look at that piece in question. Use up, left, down, right. Sorry. The tutorial
Use,
man inside of me took over. Rotate the evidence in all directions and examine from all angles. By using WASD.
Wow.
Do you like these mental images I'm sending you? You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshair starts to pulsate,
Huh?
press space to investigate further.
Kazuma, how are you saying these icons out loud?
So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining in more detail.
If he didn't get straight A's, I don't believe it.
Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use up, left, down, right, WASD, and space to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious.
Space.
Congratulations. You found out how not to use the keys.
Ryunosuke, you're more advanced than I thought. You found out about right click and left click.
This is insane.
Let's have a look.
Now we're 2D.
This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed.
Looks like he only got a B in geometry.
Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. I could use some top.
Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out?
It would seem so. Just before the incident.
Oopsie.
Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief.
Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe that there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain.
Are you okay, dude?
Anna?
There's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. I see what's going on. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed.
Who is this Anna, and why is she
Really?
teasing you?
Sounds like information worth bearing in mind.
Medical report card's information. Nyeh, 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 nyeh. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes.
So I think it's time we listen to that testimony again. Don't you?
Definitely!
Your Honor, one moment. I
line.
need to give the defendant a tutorial.
Oh, my ass is wrong. I'm just moving on.
No, nope.
Unfortunately,
Damn!
get fucked.
Yeah, we know all this.
Please don't make me go through the entire tutorial again.
Yes!
No, no, no. It's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun.
We have a difference in opinion of that. The opinion of an uniformed officer, versus that of a fledgling cadet.
I don't think so.
Nuh-uh.
Consider this, defendant.
The fuck you mean, nuh-uh?
Just a moment ago, I blinked.
Did you?
Did you see it? Did you see me blink?
Did you
How
see it?
could I?
Red arrow.
And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I had blinked.
But it's not. It's a very deniable fact.
Phoenix Wright
So there
court
you
system,
have it.
bro.
Have what?
Attention! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and that very next moment, I saw you waving a gun at the Englishman.
I think that says it all, don't you?
Uh,
And don't let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in this most incriminating position as well.
Doggy.
Isn't that so, Korekuta-san?
My honest reaction.
I see it.
Yes!
Did you? I was gonna say, did you press that already?
no, not this. Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I've told you already, that's only because I'd picked it up off the floor.
Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away.
I had just finished drinking my coffee, and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment, bang!
Did it show you who did it before you started this case?
No.
No.
Oh, thank God.
A gunshot rang in my ears.
Full of events beyond our control, life is.
Sorry, what do you mean?
In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament.
Why do you have it? Who let you in with that?
Whereas, conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the facts remain. Myself, I did see you with a pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner.
I did press this
I-
one.
I think that's the one, maybe, because you can present the picture of the stake.
But that doesn't contradict that they were the only personnel present. I think we're...
But it does, because then if he couldn't have solid food, then somebody else had to have ordered the steak.
I guess the question is, do I present the picture first, or do I present the stake first? Or the picture or the medical record first?
I would
I think it would
present
be
the
the
mistake first, because then they'll probably ask you, what does this have to do with anything? And then that's when you would present the medical record.
Dude,
I
it
was
sucks,
thinking
because
the
I've...
other way around.
It sucks, because I've seen this case like twice before, and I just don't fucking remember.
Have you looked at the back of the photo yet?
No, I haven't. I can't.
Oh, you can't.
Is the... Okay.
Chief Inspector. Wait, it's the Chief Inspector business card.
Well, that's unexpected.
What is?
Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga.
Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point.
True.
It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title.
Can't you read it?
His
English
job?
player?
Oh. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth?
I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here.
Yippee.
Plan of the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think.
Definitely.
It's supposed to show a relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing to show the woman you say you saw there.
Exactly. And that's not all. Look here in the upper left where it says kitchen.
Oh yes, what of it?
No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry.
You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Study harder, Ryunosuke.
Damn,
Damn.
stupid.
Oh my gosh. Princess Roska. Thank you for the raid. I hope your stream was epic. I hope you enjoy a struggle to figure this out. Smile.
I hope you enjoy many grown adults struggling to figure out tutorial
We can't read.
case.
Oh my god. I like the doggy emote. I like all the doggy emotes. Thank you, I appreciate it. I don't know.
Well, if we did already do this one, because the next one is also an assertion that they were the only ones there, I think.
Yeah, let's see. Dining all by himself.
Dining all by himself.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you would present at. Because you
I
would
thi- I-
present... No, he can't eat.
Yeah, I think we present the picture and then the medical record.
I
On
think
this
medical
one,
and then picture.
Or no, yeah, you're right. Medical record, then picture. Because he can't be
It's like,
dining.
no, he couldn't eat. And this was at the table, so who was eating the food?
You're right.
yeah.
You're right. Alright, let's go for it.
Yes!
Yeah, music stopped. We're good.
You,
Question.
Well-
Your Honor, I have to use the wee room.
Well, I think,
About what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer?
I wish I could. But first and foremost here, I'm the accused.
Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it.
Thanks, Kazuma.
I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say.
Ah.
Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking.
Alright. And thanks for the advice.
Deep breathing technique.
Korakuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
I see, and I don't see. What of it, boy?
Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel.
But
Let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
but that's
Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. I know you're a little
Say the
dumb.
F-word.
Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witnesses' testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides the pale-faced pupil who— okay.
Oh, he did the real slam.
this this medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
I've never been to the dentist. What is that?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted.
You can't handle the tooth.
And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating.
My honest reaction.
Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat. So what? What do you mean, so what? You're a soldier.
Sounds good, Princess Ruska. Thank you so much again for the raid. I hope you have a good EP. We'll do our best sussing out some clues and evidence. Thank you. It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that can't.
Kurikuta-san,
What, boy? What?
as you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally,
There's
you have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case, because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic.
Expertly done, partner.
Stop wanting to fuck me, bro.
I can't help it. You're becoming an ace attorney now.
What is this nonsense? You little upstart?
Damn.
My honest reaction.
These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence.
Your
all
Honor.
your base or belong to us.
You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. See what I did there, Ryunosuke?
I hate the way his face looks when he says that.
Oh, yeah. See what I did there, Ryunosuke?
Yeah, I hate how smug he is when he says that.
Sure.
He's so proud of himself.
So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum.
Who was Schwarp Glorpin the meat?
Who, in
Shut up.
fact,
Shut up.
was Swerve Gorpin the pictured beefsteak?
Looks like our baseless accusation has become a base accusation.
The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, bitch boy?
Damn!
Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it?
Nah.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
It's okay. Phoenix Wright didn't know what evidence was.
This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of.
Got it. So,
Bleh.
the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been...
Me.
yeah, me.
I was eating the steak.
Obviously,
I was hungry.
it can only have been someone else who is sitting at the professor's table.
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person. Sweating emoji.
Then who was for to eat steak?
There was, because I saw her.
When the incident occurred, we both know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table.
Well, there was a single chomp.
Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it.
Ugh.
We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that the witnesses' testimonies were unreliable. If the court decides to push this through a ruling at this stage, I'll kill someone.
Kill them.
We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly.
Kazuma.
You insane? You would take on the government? You young
would take-
people and your so-called rights?
I'd take on anybody, to be honest. Don't worry,
In a
counsel.
fight, right?
I have no issue with you.
In a fight, right?
What do you mean?
I have an issue with them, the two witnesses in the stand.
The white people.
What? What?
What are you talking about?
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury.
Per jury? Isn't that like once per jury?
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder?
No!
Oh wait, yo, this dude has cake.
Huh? Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders.
That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us. My honest
just dies.
reaction. Oh.
Oh.
What? What did you just say, Kodakuda-san?
Fuck.
Oh.
Oh, dude, he's off the lane right now.
You were just following orders?
Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentleman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas?
What?
Why are you surprised?
She wasn't a
What?
figment of my imagination?
Well, what is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? My honest reaction.
Just one. Just one simple flip of the tongue.
Order! Order! Council, explain what is going on here.
It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
Come on, dude. What happened? Where'd the fire go?
Then who's behind this?
Fucking serious?
Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Well,
Baby, can you stop pulling my mustache? That's classified.
So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you?
You wouldn't. This can't be happening.
Ryunosuke. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Auchi had any idea about it.
What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could have only
You're
been the
right.
government, the military, or the police, I suppose.
Well, isn't your hand full of that evidence? Any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue on our pursuit.
So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut.
Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here.
But how? How can we possibly...
Remember how we made progress before?
Before?
We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result.
Oh yes, that's right.
Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. Damn, we're ahead of the curve on this shit.
We are...
True.
There's no time to lose.
I want answers. If
Yes,
it's
sir.
proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
Well, swear to more Shinto gods. And what does the defense have to say about all of this? Hmm?
Well, Your Excellency. No time to think.
Answer, boy.
I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head.
I hope he doesn't shout out the
Mother-
first name that comes to his head.
You better shout the first thing that comes to your head, boy.
Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is...
Yes!
Well, surely that would be... Satoru Hosonaga-san.
Hosonaga-san, who took the stand earlier.
Objection!
Poppycock!
Can't say that on
What possible reason
television.
could the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What?
This soundtrack is
If
crazy.
He truly
right?
were? Dude, every time I hear this song, I keep thinking it's gonna go into the Final Fantasy XIV though.
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth.
The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity, as proven by this evidence.
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail. But I'm not sure if we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
Just say the front.
I beg your pardon.
Ryunosuke, you're one of the dumbest people I've ever met.
Or perhaps I should have said, the front.
Thank you.
Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is.
Don't need to add that.
Guilty.
I have to say that I'm really in love with like his scanning the room look when he's just standing there.
Would
Yeah.
somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession.
The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious!
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Every time Kazuma does this, I think of the fucking sticker. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reveals Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. There's a lot of words on that card.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power. As far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand.
Yeah.
Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well,
My honest reaction.
Inspector Hosonaga!
I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility.
Yeah. We know. We saw this.
Oh shit, fuck, shit.
Son of a bitch,
just
give it.
don't draw it on your business card.
Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card.
I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It is my guiding principle.
You and I lie.
But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible.
I was working
Real?
undercover. I was working
Real?
undercover.
Undercover?
Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents?
Murder?
That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. He's thinking right now, bro.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses behind you.
They're next to me, sir.
That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table.
Nah.
If that is indeed true, clearly you also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony does not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
What the fuck? Dying.
Correct, Your Excellency.
Unbelievable.
As I suspected. Shoots the judge. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran up to the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady whom I guessed to be an English woman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and had reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders.
Special orders? You mean to say...
Remove the English woman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the English woman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders.
But what if this English woman was the killer?
I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue the idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An English man has been murdered on our soil. To name an English woman as the primary suspect? Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case.
But it's not right.
He left.
My honest reaction.
My honest reaction.
My honest reaction. One possibility does spring to mind.
What do you mean, Kazuma?
Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them is studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory. Is a young English woman.
What? There's a English woman in college for an exchange program?
You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour.
You mean...
When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first.
Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector.
No.
The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jesely Brett. She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical faculty.
What? What is happening here?
This poor dude.
That old man is shaking. I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence on the scene, and ordered each witness to make no mention of her in their testimonies.
That's a strong baby.
It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation.
Kill her.
Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that the premise is false, it would be a destrocation of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
But Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the Telegraph report to Great Britain. Or more like Mid-Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Wait. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom.
Giga Chat Judge.
Please.
Ugh.
Inspector Hosonaga.
Yes, sir.
Go to jail.
You will locate this Giselle Brent and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly.
It won't be a problem.
Nothing will get in my way. Oh, I like this guy now. He's epic.
Someone give him chemotherapy.
Courts will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the lane witness stand. And bailiff, get that man the tissue. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Are you the
Your
bailiff?
Excellency.
Good. Then we'll have a 30-minute recess before
My bad. He said reconvening.
reconvening.
Be continued.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, dum.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
walk
Pretty
away
good.
real quick. Somebody can just cover my
That's
voices.
that's a pretty good stopping point for right now, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah.
solid. I'll be right back.
Thank God. I regret choosing that voice.
It's hard. It's partially why I gave it to you. My voice started to